Preview.
It's been about a year since I've done a Years in Anime episode, and I've gotten the urge to do another one. So 1997 was a point in anime where I believe the cream of the crop up to that point had already released, and a lot of these shows either had ended within a year or two prior to 97, or they would have been getting ready to wrap up. That doesn't mean quality anime wasn't dropping at that time, but a lot of them flew under the radar or went underappreciated. Let's dive in. Armitage the Third, Polymatrix by AIC. A lot of people don't like this one, and I could agree if it was the sequel Dual Matrix, but I actually enjoyed this film. It's a condensed version of the first half of the OVA Armitage the Third that came out a couple years before. It's the year 2046 in a universe where overpopulation has pushed humanity to start colonizing the planet Mars. Also, robots have become a norm of society. It follows a detective who gets reassigned to Mars and discovers murders going down, and there's a psychotic lunatic running rampant, responsible for many of them. Perfect Blue by Madhouse. An interesting film by Madhouse, by the late and great Satoshi Kon, God bless the dead. Most of you are gonna already know this movie, but for those that don't, it's about a retired pop star on the pursuit of an acting career. She ends up attracting a creepy stalker, and it causes her to lose grip of what's real. Pretty weird, but pretty great. Agent Aika. An OVA that takes place 20 years after an earthquake that has submerged Tokyo and most of the world's land into the ocean. Aiki Sumeragi is a salvage agent, a person who digs up submerged artifacts from the cities below. She works for a small company run by Gozo Aida and takes on fairly dangerous jobs. Her and Gozo's daughter Rian discover a material called the Lagu. Needless to say, this Lagu business sparks off some issues. Princess Mononoke from Studio Ghibli, one of the greatest anime films of all time. Hayao Miyazaki and the good folks down at Ghibli outdid themselves when they put this together. Some of the greatest animation of all time. It's a journey to cure a curse and a war to remember. That's all I'll say. Check this out. Flame of Recca, Studio Para. This may be the last of its kind. The Kenshins, the Hakushos, Dragon Balls, all that 90s shonen shit. Because after we saw shonen morph into the style of shows like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, the original big three, it's fairly generic in the terms of its layout, and it does borrow some things from Yu Yu Hakusho, but that's mainly because it was produced by the same director from the same studio. Regardless, it does have some authentic things to offer. I have a review discussing all this that I put out recently, so go and check it out. Ayane's High Kick from Nikatsu Corporation, a great OVA about a girl with aspirations to be a pro wrestler, ending up getting finessed into kickboxing. It's less than an hour long, but it's something slightly different from the traditional martial arts anime that we're used to seeing where, somebody wants to get into karate or jujitsu or some shit like that. Wild Cards, BMG Victor, Movic, and Studio Ox. If one can get past the corny, goofy art style, this is a pretty crazy OVA. The Card Kingdom is a land that is taken over by invaders, and it's up to the Crown Knights to push back the invaders and protect their land with all their might. It stands out because it gives you all the ingredients of a generic late 90s magical girl attempt, but replaces all that for shonen style action. There's some pretty heavy stuff going on here. Watch it. Berserk, Studio OLM. Not much to be said here, although it ends on a cliffhanger. Only adapting a small fraction of the manga, it's one of the greatest anime of all time. Incredible animation, handwritten straight out the pages of the manga, pace pretty amazing, has a pretty addicting opening theme song and a great soundtrack, all the recipe for a timeless classic anime. Hyper Police. A world in the distant future from what we know as modern day, where 100% human beings are something on the verge of being extinct, and monsters make up majority of civilization. The series mostly follows the officers of a private police company and focuses on the life of Natsuki Sasahara, a young cat girl, and her co-workers, Fox Girl Sakura, Buken something, Werewolf, Batonen Fujioka, and his cousin Tomi Fujioka. Pokemon Indigo League from Studio OLM. Pretty crazy that this came out the same year as Berserk. But anyways, I'm not talking about this anime. You already know it, you grew up with it. It came out in 97, following the years of success the Game Boy games had. Say what you want, it's still a classic and it's nostalgia to most of us. Revolutionary Girl Utena from JC Staff. a cult classic among most of the people that are hip to its existence. Utena is a bit of a hard one to follow. I'll leave it up to you to watch the series, but I can't really discuss the animes that came out in '97 without mentioning this one. Well, that's it, friends. There's a lot of other series that came out, but they either weren't as great or nah. Talk to me. What should I go over next? Like the video? Comment down below what y'all want to see next. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Anime Back When.